colleague from Florida, Mr. Posey, for 5 minutes.
Thank you very much, Chairman Foster and Ranking Member Overnolt, for holding this hearing. A discussion of the variants of COVID-19 is very important to our work of defeating this virus and understanding its dangers in history. Dr. Striffer, in 2003, it appears the first SARS epidemic, SARS-CoV, was beginning to spread, and the virus was mutating rapidly as it adapted to humans. But it appears once it became more contagious, it became more stable and stopped mutating so quickly. COVID-19, or SARS-CoV-2, appears to have been remarkably stable since it first emerged in 2019 in Wuhan. It never appears to have had the same period of rapid mutation in the 2003 SARS outbreak. Each witness obviously is very interested in the variants, but I wonder if we are as curious about the missing links or earlier variants of COVID-19 that we would expect to see just after the emergence of a new virus. Can staff bring my pictures up now? This is from a preprint paper, and figure 1 shows mutations in early stage SARS in blue, and then the late stage SARS in yellow. Figure 2 shows the mutations in COVID-19. Bigger spaces between those dots would appear to this layperson to indicate greater mutations in the virus. And obviously the two figures are very different from each other. And in fact, the red COVID-19 looks a lot more like the yellow late stage SARS. The original SARS is known to be a naturally emerging virus, and it mutated rapidly when it did emerge. COVID-19, on the other hand, did not have the same rapid mutations. So my question, Dr. Striffer, based on your expertise, how would you explain why figure 2 does not have the early mutations that we see in figure 1?
So just to jump in, and sorry, I apologize, I'm moving screens around so I can actually see the figure. I'm actually paying attention. So I think virus evolution is always a careful balance between trying to infect the host, replicate, and do that in a way which is efficient, but not actually kill the host. And one of the things that you'll find is that viruses, rather, that are actually too aggressive, that cause too much fatality, will actually damp out very quickly. So you do see an enormous amount of difference in the rate at which viruses mutate and the patterns that you see in those mutations. And I think that's reflected here. I think these are both natural viruses. I think the difference in the mutation rates is a reflection of the different epidemiology, the way in which the initial pandemics played out, and then just the natural differences in the virus. And Dr. Abdul Karim and Dr. I'm getting my name wrong. Dr. Grubau could probably comment very eloquently on this if they'd like to follow up with that. Although, of course, it's the member's prerogative.
I'd be delighted for the follow-up. Thank you. I yield.
I can answer for a minute. So one, each virus is a little bit different. And especially when we have viruses that emerge from animals into people, that they're at different stages of being able to adapt and spread within people. And so it's always hard to compare apples to apples when you have different events that are happening. Also, evolution is not just dependent on adapting to the host. There's other things in place, such as the rate of transmission, some other inherent factors, the types of therapeutics that are used. So it's a really complicated factor. And I would say that with SARS-CoV-2, we did see early adaptation to humans. We had the D614G mutation that rapidly spread around the world. And then now we are seeing the emergence of many new variants that are happening. And also just to say that the pandemic with SARS-CoV-2 is really unprecedented in terms of the number of infections. It's evolutionary patterns with the emergence of several variants that have many mutations that are acquired in a very short period. That I would just say that it's very difficult to compare this to really anything else because we haven't seen anything quite like this.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Thank you. I yield back.
Thank you. And yeah, I believe the gentleman's line of questioning touched on a very important issue, which is trying to understand what we can about the origins of this virus.
Right.
And this is a subject of very serious scientific debate among serious scientists about what constitutes evidence in various directions. This subcommittee on investigations and oversight does intend to have a hearing on the origins of the SARS-CoV-2 virus in the near future.